Welcome to episode number 2 of stocks that ARK Invest think will double over the next 5 years. Today's video, we're going to talk about Teladoc, stock ticker symbol TDOC. Over the last couple of months, ARK Invest has been buying more and more shares of Teladoc. Currently, they own positions of Teladoc in 3 out of their 5 ETFs. They own 3.8 million shares of it in their ARKK ETF. They own 900,000 shares of it in their ARKW ETF. And finally, they also own another 1.7 million shares of Teladoc in their ARKG ETF. They've been adding more and more to their positions over the last couple of months, and now many analysts think that Teladoc is going to be the clear winner in the telemedicine space.
This company, everything that we've been reading, has a possibility to really disrupt the healthcare systems we know over the next decade.
So in today's video, I'm first going to go over what Cathie Wood says about Teladoc being the winner take most in the telemedicine space. After that, I'm going to go over some recent mergers they've had that are going to significantly help their company moving forward. And finally, at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about ARK Invest's current positions in Teladoc and where I see the stock price moving forward. For those of you who are new here, my name is Michael. I'm a 21-year-old investor, entrepreneur, and full-time college student. In the past 30 days, I've made over $175,000 in one of the many investment accounts that I share with you in our private group on Patreon. So if you'd like to know more about what stocks I'm buying and what stocks I'm selling in our $575,000 private investment account, you want exclusive content that I don't post on YouTube, and if you want pre-release access to my new show called The Stock Room, where I talk about stocks with my 80-year-old friend who's a millionaire investor and entrepreneur, well then make sure to join our group using the link down below. So anyways, let's talk about Teladoc. ARK CEO Cathie Wood, she's beating 98% of all other funds this year and has been doing significantly better than anyone else recently. Now, she and her team recently came out and said the couple of stocks that they see as the winner take most in their portfolios. This isn't a title that they give to many stocks. This is the highest level of conviction that she gives to any stocks that they invest in. So, for example, she says that Tesla is going to be the winner take most in the autonomous taxi network. She says Square is going to be the winner take most in the digital wallet space, PayPal to some extent, but she also says that Teladoc will be the winner take most in the telemedicine or virtual care space. So this is really important to know because they don't say this about many stocks. Teladoc is currently trying to tackle the telemedicine space.
They provide virtual healthcare services for business to business. Right now, they're working on this concept of like healthcare assurance, which is ongoing virtual and digital sort of health counseling to prevent against issues, as opposed to the old school model, in-person doctor business with health insurance. So this health assurance versus insurance.
And the way to understand Teladoc is it initially approached the telehealth market or the virtual care market from the provider side, and that's a very hard way to approach it. Wood explained how they also merged recently with Livongo, which is coming at the market from a completely different angle, and she said it has a very strong position in the virtual care space for people with chronic diseases, specifically with diabetes being their biggest category. And recently in an interview with Bloomberg, she said how diabetes is where people spend the most money, and they see that as an industry where they could really take advantage of moving forward and see a lot of growth in over the next couple of years.
With the combination of artificial intelligence and gene editing, we're able to both anticipate diseases and cure them potentially. Beta thalassemia, we're seeing it, sickle cell disease. We even think it will work in diabetes, which is where most if you look at the largest category of spending year to year in healthcare, it's diabetes.
So Teladoc and Livongo have come together, they recently merged, and they've established a working group focused on artificial intelligence and how to use the explosion of information they are receiving from providers, patients, and insurers. Teladoc has a network of teleproviders, while Livongo is a great asset to Teladoc because they use artificial intelligence and analyze a lot of data to help improve the telehealth industry. Another aspect that Wood likes about Teladoc is its successful infiltration of international markets. She said how they've been surprised about how much Teladoc has been able to infiltrate certain economies. She specifically pointed out Canada and the UK have been very significant developments so far for Teladoc, and she said Healthcare is nearly 20% of GDP in the US alone, and more than half of that is inefficiencies that they're going to be able to solve, and it's going to keep growing moving forward. She says they think Teladoc has a huge opportunity to squeeze inefficiencies out of the system and make it a win-win for all players involved in the telehealth space. She thinks there's a lot of room left for the company to grow, and that is why she thinks it's going to be a winner-take-most in the telehealth medicine space, which is not something she says about most stocks. Recently, Cathie Wood has been increasing Teladoc holdings across ARK ETFs. Currently, ARK has 5 different ETFs. They have ARKK, ARKW, ARKG, ARKQ, and ARKF. Recently, Cathie Wood has increased her positions in Teladoc by 70,000 shares in ARKG. She increased her position in Teladoc in ARKK by about 315,000 shares, and they also increased their position in the ARKW ETF by about 70,000 shares as well. So currently they've been increasing their positions dramatically over the last couple of months, and right now it is one of the top 10 holdings in the 3 ETFs where they own it. For ARKK, it is currently their number 6 holding right now, the 6th highest holding they have in that portfolio. In ARKW, it is the 4th highest holding, where they have about 1 million shares of the company. And finally, in ARKG, it is the 5th highest holding they have in the ETF with about 1.8 million shares. So they have a lot riding on Teladoc, and this makes sense because Cathie Wood says it is going to be a winner-take-most in the space. One thing to keep in mind with Teladoc is that they like to acquire telehealth companies. Whenever they have a new competitor, they seem to always be acquiring them, which will definitely help with growth moving forward.
This is a merger-centric company. I think they're going to keep growing, and it may be hard to dislodge them. Of course, if one company could, maybe that's Zoom, but I don't see anything different. Every competitor that's come along for the last, I can't remember now, but 7 to 10 years, they've just acquired it, and they've used stock along the way to do that. So it's an interesting formula that they have.
Right now, Teladoc has been growing consistently over the last couple of years. Year to year, they grew their revenue 109% from 2019 to 2020, which is huge. And on top of their revenue growing, they've also been acquiring many businesses. One analyst names Teladoc as the 3 surefire growth stocks to buy before 2021. He explains how Teladoc is best positioned to capitalize on the growing trend towards telehealth and telemedicine, which has been drastically accelerated because of the pandemic. He explained that the company saw a 2-fold rise in revenue in 2020 from 2019, and its international growth is just getting started. It only makes up a small portion of the company's revenue, and they see this as a massive opportunity moving forward. When you take anything online, whether it's medicine or anything in business, it becomes much easier to reach a larger audience because you don't need to worry about physical locations. And with Teladoc, they can reach people all across the world. And finally, the last aspect that I really like about Teladoc is the acquisition with Livongo Health, which had tripled its growth alone before the merger, and it's a great company by itself, but now with it merging with Teladoc and already having merged, it will cement Teladoc's leadership in the virtual care and telemedicine space. So anyways, that's what's going on with Teladoc. Cathie Wood saying it is one of the winner-take-most stocks in the telehealth space. This is a conviction that she only have given to a couple of stocks in the past, such as Tesla and PayPal. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to get your 4 free stocks, each valued up to $1,600 when you download the Webull investing app using the link down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.